Okay guys, today I'm making a weeknight dinner that's pretty easy and fast. Right here I just have some ground beef and I'm seasoning it with some steak seasoning. I think steak seasoning goes really well with ground beef. It's not just for steaks. Actually, I put it on chicken too. I also put some regular seasoning in it, complete Badia complete seasoning. And the reason I added that was because I didn't have that much of it left. And this is really simple and easy. So what I'm gonna do is make some patties out of this, and then make a gravy to go along with it. And this is another food pantry meal, because everything is going to be that I'm cooking today comes from the food pantry. So I have a hot pan here, and I'm just gonna make some patties. Now this is about 16 ounces of beef that I'm using. Yeah, this is about 16 ounces. And I just want to brown them on each side for a couple of reasons. I don't want them to shrink up really bad. And they'll be juicy and tender on the inside, because I'm going to make a gravy, an onion gravy to go with this. Probably onion and garlic, because I add garlic to everything. So I'm going to just fry these up. And once these are pretty much brown, then what I'm going to do is take them out the pan and make the gravy with it. And the one thing you can do, whether you know it or not, you can put them on high heat, because you're not trying to cook them completely. They're going to cook some more in the gravy, but you want them to brown. Okay, so you see how these are browning? They brown on one side, I'm letting them brown on the other. So I'm going to let them brown for a second, and then I'm going to take them out. When I flip these, I do not smash them down with the spatula, because the juice will come out. I don't want that. I don't want dry hamburger. So I'm going to cut up my onions, and then I'm going to take the hamburger out. Okay, so I took all my hamburger out, and now I'm going to add my onion. And this is on low heat. I'm going to let my onion cook a little bit, and then I'm going to add my flour, my water, and my seasoning. So here's my onions, and then I'm going to add in my flour. And this is on low, because you don't want any burnt flour, and you want to cook the flour some, because you don't want raw tasting flour either. So I'm going to add some water to this and add my hamburger back into my pan. And I'm going to add some seasoning along with it. And I'm going to put the top on it because I want it to cook. I want the hamburger to continue to cook. I want the juices from the hamburger to marinate in the gravy. All of that. So let's see. You know what? I have several different seasonings. One of my other favorite seasonings is soul food seasoning from Family Dollar. It only costs $1. And it's very good. So yeah, I'll use soul food seasoning for this. And look, I done used all of that up. When I find a seasoning I like, I have a tendency to use it all up. I really do. I really do. So what I'm going to do is add my hamburger back in this gravy. Once I add my hamburger, I'm going to keep it on low because I want my onions to soften up. Once my onions soften up, I'm going to turn the heat up so that the gravy can get thicker. It's going to get a little thick anyway. Now, it might get a little too thick, and if it does, I'm simply going to have to add a little bit more water, but watch it just in case. Okay, so our hamburgers and gravy is done. Next, I'm going to make some mashed potatoes and roasted squash. Now, this is some yellow squash, and what I did was I took the squash and spiraled them because I absolutely love spiraled food, vegetables. So I spiraled the squash, and this does look like a lot of squash, which it probably is. I can't remember exactly how many it was, but anyway, it's gonna cook down some. But what I did was I spiraled them and put them in a bag, plastic bag, and put paper towel in them. And I'm telling you guys, it lasts a good little while when you do that. So next, all I'm gonna do is take some oil, the oil of your choice, olive oil, vegetable oil, any kind you use. And we're just going to, now, look, whether you know it or not, salt and pepper does just as good as any seasoning. My seasoning of choice is another soul seasoning. This seasoning, I can only buy in Haymarket. There's a guy, he's a former chef, and he sells them in Haymarket at a stand. So that's where I go to get this soul seasoning. This is called Chef in a Jar soul seasoning. And I looked on the website so I wouldn't have to ride all the way down there, and it's non-existent. So the only way I can get this seasoning is to go all the way down to Haymarket to purchase it. But anyway, what I do is I do this the same way I do with zucchini, spiral zucchini. put it on a pan, toss it in seasoning with oil, put it on high heat, the highest it can go for 10 minutes, and it comes out perfect. Okay, I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes. So I took 5 small to medium potatoes and boiled them, peeled them, mashed them. So now I'm gonna add some milk, and I'm gonna add some butter, and these are gonna be like what do you call it? I guess I add cheese to them, but I'm using Parmesan cheese because I don't feel like shredding up any cheese. I'm gonna add some garlic to them, and some cheese. And I'm gonna stir this up. It's on low. So I'm gonna stir this up. I kind of like my mashed potatoes creamy but thick. I don't like them loose. So I'm gonna let these cook down until the butter has melted. Okay guys, so my phone died on me, so I couldn't show you the rest, how I finished off the mashed potatoes, but they're really good. And there's the squash, and the mashed potatoes with gravy and hamburger. That is another Food Pantry weeknight meal. Quick, easy, and delicious. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.